Hello student, I hope you all are safe at home. Today we are going to start chapter number 15, that is drainage system. Here we will learn about the drainage system of rivers. Now the word drainage system is used for the systematic pattern of rivers. While observing the physiography of India, it is seen that a river and her many tributaries come from different directions and merge into a single river. The water of these rivers is emptied into a water reservoir, sea, or a desert. Thus, when a river flows through its system in any area, it is called a river basin. When a mountain or an upland separates the flow of water from one another, it is called water divider. Student, you can see the picture of water divider in your textbook. Now for your knowledge, like to know, River Amazon has the largest river basin in the world and Ganga has the largest river basin in India. Now we will study about the drainage system of India. India has a very varied physiography. At some parts it has high mountains, whereas at other parts it has flat plains. Drainage pattern is dependent on the physiography of a place. Based on the physical features of India, its drainage system or say rivers can be divided into two parts. They are Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Now we will study about the Himalayan rivers. Rivers originating from Himalayas are called Himalayan rivers. Sindhu, Brahmaputra and Ganga are three most important Himalayan rivers. Student, you can underline this sentence. It can come in exam for 1 mark. Himalayan rivers contain water throughout the year. Hence, they are called perennial rivers. These rivers are perennial rivers because of two reasons. First one, the heavy rains in monsoon increase the volume of water in these rivers. And the second one is the melting of snow of Himalayas add water during summer. These rivers have curved deep gorges by cutting the mountains. Himalayan rivers cross a very long way from its origin to finally merge with the sea. Now student, you can see the picture given in your textbook, different stages of river, and the other picture is river systems. In different stages of river, first one, sources of the river, upper course, middle course, meander, lower course, then oxbow lake and delta. And in river system, there are four types. Now we will study about the three stages of a river system, that is upper course, middle course and lower course. When a river starts from mountainous region, it causes intense erosion. It carries huge volume of sand and sediments along with it. Its flow decreases in its middle and lower courses. Meanders are seen here. Due to these meanderings and the impact of floods, a lake is formed in the shape of horse hoof near its delta. A river is divided into many tributaries. This divided area turns into a very fertile plain in a triangle shape. This is called delta. Now the next one is peninsular rivers. Peninsular rivers are dependent on rain, which is quite uncertain, and so they do not contain water throughout the year. Hence, peninsular rivers are also called seasonal rivers. During dry season, their flow is either reduced or is totally stopped. Compared to the Himalayan rivers, they are shorter and shallow. Due to the physiography and the slope of the mountain, most of the peninsular rivers originate in the Western Ghats, flow eastward and meet Bay of Bengal. Western Ghats serve as a major water divide for the peninsular rivers. Now, student, for your knowledge, you can see like to know, that is pattern of drainage system. The river system of main river and its tributaries is seen as follow. Now the first one is dendritic pattern. When the arrangement of a river and its tributaries make a shape of the branches of a tree, it is called dendritic pattern. Example, Ganga river has a dendritic pattern. Second one is trellis pattern. When streams starting from mountainous region meet one another due to the slopes, they make a net-like shape. This pattern of river is called trellis pattern of a river. Example, many streams of Himalayan mountains meet Himalayan rivers and form a trellis pattern. Then the third one is rectangular pattern. When the main river and its tributaries meet each other at right angle, they form a rectangular pattern. Mostly rivers flowing through rift valleys form such rectangular river system. For example, Narmada. Now, the fourth one is radial pattern. In this drainage pattern, the rivers flow outward from one central hilly region. Radial pattern is found in the rivers of Saurashtra. Now student, you can see the map given in your textbook. India's major river and lakes. You can see it. Now we will study about the Himalayan rivers. Sindhu, Ganga and Brahmaputra are major rivers originating in the Himalayas. These rivers are long and many tributaries meet them. When a large river and her many tributaries meet, they form a pattern which is called a system. Now, Sindhu, that is Indus river system. River Sindhu emerges from near Mansarovar in Tibet. First it flows to west and then turns north-westward. There it enters Leh district in Ladakh, Union Territory. It has formed many inaccessible gorges. Rivers Jhaskar, Nubra, Shok and Hunza meet her. Satluj, Bees, Ravi and Jhelum are her main tributaries. These 5 rivers meet river Sindhu near Mithankot in Pakistan. The combined flow of all these rivers ultimately flows southward and meets the Arabian Sea. These rivers flow at a slower speed in the plains. About 1/3 of its basin falls in the mountainous region of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, student, for your knowledge, like to know, River Sindhu is 2900 km long. In 1960, a treaty was signed with Pakistan regarding the distribution of the water of Sindhu River. Accordingly, India can use only 20% of its water. Irrigation has been possible in Punjab, Haryana and southwestern parts of Rajasthan by harnessing the water of Satluj, Ravi and Bees river. Now, Ganga river system. River Bhagirathi and Alaknanda emerging from the Gangotri area in Himalayas merge with each other near Devprayag, that is Uttarakhand. Ganga leaves the mountainous terrain and enters plains near Haridwar. Many Himalayan rivers meet Ganga. Among them, Ghagra, Gandak, and Koshi are major rivers. Yamuna emerges from Yamunotri in Himalayas, flowing to the right side of Ganga. It merges with Ganga near Allahabad. The source of Ghagra, Gandak, and Koshi river lies in Nepal. Hence, the northern plain experiences flood disaster every year. There is a heavy loss of life and property in some areas. Yet, India has been able to attain prosperity in agriculture through the fertile plains formed by these rivers. Few rivers like Chambal, Betwa originate in peninsular plateau and meet Yamuna. Sun River meets Ganga. These rivers originate in semi-arid area. Their length of flow is shorter and have limited volume of water. The combined flow of the rivers from north and south is divided downstream into two branches. One branch enters Bangladesh and is known there as Padma. Student, you can underline this sentence. It can come in exam for 1 mark. Another branch is known as Bhagirathi, Hooghly in West Bengal. Finally, these two branches meet the Bay of Bengal. Now, the flow of Ganga, which is known as Padma in Bangladesh, merges there with Brahmaputra river and their combined flow is called Meghna. The Ganga Brahmaputra delta is the most fertile delta and is known as Sundarban. Now again, student, for your knowledge, like to know, the delta region of Ganga is called Sundarban because the trees known as Sundari grow in large number here. Sundarban delta is more famous as mangrove forest. Total length of Ganga exceeds 2500 kilometers. Ambala city works as a water divide between Ganga and Sindhu rivers. Ambala to Sundarban is about 1800 kilometers, but the slope is very gentle. Ambala is at an altitude of 300 meters from sea level, while Sundarban is at sea level. Considering this, the slope happens to be less than 1 meter for every 6 kilometers. So, there are many meanders in this river. Now, student, in my next video, I will explain you the further topic. Thank you.